what's happening with currencies, because the dollar is the global outperformer after the Trump win. And of course, that's putting pressure on the Indian rupee as well. Latha is here with what's in store. Latha, over to you.
Well, rupee is mildly lower in early trades today, whereas all other Asian currencies are rising. But that was the exact opposite story yesterday. We saw a steep fall across the board in all Asian currencies. The rupee fell, but it was the one that fell the least. So while we can talk of record lows for the rupee, what we should say is, although it is at a record low, it's falling much less than other Asian currencies. Just for comparison, I've given you a table of two-day loss, or rather, a 30-hour loss for the last, for the Asian currencies. As you can see, rupee down about 0.22%, but look at the yen, 1.8%, offshore renminbi 1.2%, onshore renminbi 1%, ringgit 1.5%, Thai baht is 2.2% lower, the Korean won 1.2%, peso not much, 0.4, Philippine peso, and the rupee 0.23. So those fallen less, but rupee quite clearly the outperformer, but will continue to see new lows. The Indian market dealers tell me that they are now prepared for 84.5 in this cycle of depreciation. That is, in the near term, they're prepared for that. For the year as a whole, or for the next 12 months, the expectation clearly is a slow depreciation of the currency. And the point is the Reserve Bank will intervene only to modulate the pace of fall, but fall it will. If you remember last year, why last year? I mean, up until a few weeks ago, many of the brokerages, Goldman Sachs, for instance, was expecting a slow appreciation of the currency. Mild appreciation of the rupee, because we were seeing good equity flows. Remember the big flows in October and late September, as well as bond flows. They came in hand over fist. Bond flows have completely dried up now, and the expectation is that we are going to see a rewrite of brokerage reports to predict a rupee depreciation in pace with the Chinese yuan depreciation.
Yeah, I mean, given the surging US dollar, I guess one understands why a lot of the Indian participants are preparing.
If the tariff cuts come, how will China respond? They will respond by making the currency cheaper.
Correct.
To beat the difference. And therefore, a Chinese yuan renminbi depreciation is very much on the cards, according to economists.
Yeah, no, and for us as well, I guess, like you're saying, we
compete with them. Yeah,
we'll compete with them. And anyway, we have the same whole FPI exodus issue that's still hanging over the market. So let's see, perhaps weaker days ahead for the Indian currency as well. Let's